All right. So this is a very special day for us here at Kwiksher. Not only because this announcement, but because we have this opportunity to somehow connect directly with so many of you. I've seen here the names coming from the attendee list and lots of familiar names. And we really appreciate your time. I know in some countries around the world it's a little bit late right now. So again, thank you very much for your attendance. I would like to start with a big thank you, not only for coming today, but as well as for helping us to shape our product throughout these 2 years since we launched it in 2011. I know some of you, in fact, most of you are pretty new into the product. Just 20% says here, according to the poll, are using it for more than a year. But for those ones, no matter if you're just using for a week or a month or 3 months or a year or 2 years, thank you very much. Your suggestions throughout the forums or via direct email have helped us a lot, and please continue to do so. Not only for quick, but anything else that you think we should be able to bring in order to help you to speed up your design and development process. So again, thank you very much. I would like to start officially now in a very few minutes just to remind us about our journey together. Again, we launched it quick 2 years ago, a bit more than 2 years ago right now. And since then, we have now more than 6,000 unique users who have downloaded the product, who are using the product in a daily basis or from time to time. So it's a pretty amazing number for me specifically, who have been in the company since the beginning, because we could see coming from a very small base in Corona Labs, now having so many people who keep asking me, what's Corona? Do I need Corona? Because we are starting to see the shifting that not only people related to with Corona, which is great, by the way, but as well as other non-tech people come because they learn about Quake through another friend or to another illustrator, and then they are using now. So again, it may seem small for the big companies, but for us, it's a very impressive number. Considering for most of the time it was just one guy company. Also, it's amazing to see that we have more than 300 apps made with Quick since the launch. And before you ask me, hey Alex, why can't we see all of them in the showcase? The showcase is something relatively new, which came just with Quick 2 last year. But more than that, we have lots of customers doing private apps or customers that prefer not to show their work on the showcase. But again, it's amazing to see and to talk to some of you showing me demos of things that are coming, and I have to say there are lots of good things coming in the next weeks and months. So again, thank you very much for that. Also, we keep thinking about ways to help you not only with technology, providing technology, meaning features into Quick, but as well as creating and establishing partnership across different companies. So not only to help you again to build things faster, but as well as to promote your apps, because we have learned in this past year that creating the app probably is the easiest part. To market it, to promote it is the hard one. So we are glad to say that besides Corona, which is a big partner of us, we have partnerships now. Technologically related with Lanica, with Animal, with Coding Web, with Texture Packer and Physics Editor. We have the partnership with Super Sounds, who is providing some free samples for us. We just announced last week the partnership with Kids One from Swipe, which helps you to promote your app doing in a very cool way in-app advertising. We have the partnership with Digital Store Time, which is probably the largest storybook apps reviewer website in the world. And a few months ago, we announced a partnership with SVS, the School of Visual Storytelling, which together us have created a official program, which by the way starts next week. So you're first planning to have live sessions or even offline sessions with me and with the team from SVS. We are going to start it next Tuesday night. So I mean, we keep thinking about ways to help you to go to the next mile. Also, we have created the partner program, and the concept of the partner program is if you are willing to partner with us to promoting Quick in your country, in your state, you can do it in an official way now, even being a reward for every license that through you have sold for us. So I strongly recommend you to take a look at our blog and see the announcement if you missed it. Also, last month we announced the App of the Month award. It may be a simple thing, a small thing, but again, it's another way to recognize the most cool apps that we have seen being made with the program, as well as to award people who have spent time learning and trying to develop the most amazing things with our plugin. A few months ago, we announced that the new team. I am still around for sure, and also David, which just introduced me. David Porras is our new COO, and David has been with me for almost 3 months now, helping a lot in all the back office. David is a little shy guy, so that's why you don't see him very much in our blogs or in our forums, but he's working hard to help us to move on to the next level. We also have the support of Carlos Icaza, which many of you probably know uh, as one of board of directors. So he's providing his feedback and his attention to us almost daily. So it's good to see not only the good team from Corona Labs, but as well as other great people helping us to shape up the future. And also, we are like to introduce today this our new little mascot, which is Candice. If you are again following us for a while, you have seen some samples with a different shape of Candice. Candice is our tentative to make our message in our visuals more children oriented, as well as bring the concept that Candice is a witch. You can do magic with Quick. So that's the story behind, and hopefully you're going to see Candice in several new tutorials and across the website in the following days and weeks. So, but of course, there's more. There's more to do. We have a good number of views, but in order to have more people working with us, speeding up the delivery of new features, new products, we need to increase the number of users. And we are working hard, not only with partnership, but with marketing efforts in order to do so. Also, we believe that we do have a good thing in your hands right now, but we must keep improving Quick. And more than that, the user experience, making you working faster if you're already familiar with the tool. If you're new to the tool, making you to learn in a much uh, faster way. And also, we are always thinking about continuously innovation. What else we should bring, especially in a market that changes all the time. So, few weeks ago, I blogged about the goals for Quick Next. And if you remember, we have three main goals. The first one is to make it faster with better performance and fully compatible, if we're a little bit techy, with Corona uh, features, or the way we call APIs. Meaning what? Meaning that the sooner Corona launch new thing, if we are in the same compatibility layer, we can bring things faster as well. So when we are working hard with them on that, but as well as having this compatibility in the back office, but as well keeping everything that you have done today with Quick 2 compatible with the next version. Also, we need to eliminate some barriers that you may have for super large projects. Some of you have complained that I'm getting this message that I cannot have more than 200 variables in my project. So if I have a huge project with hundreds of layers, as of today, You are going to need to work and probably remove some of them. Our goal for the next version is not having any kind of barriers like that. The second main goal was to, and is still is, to enhance the user experience, but not only for new users, meaning your experience coming to our website to learn about the plugin to the moment that you install, you set up it, and you start to use must be improved. But as well as we are still thinking on old users, how to make them who are already familiar with the workflow of the plugin even more productive. And lastly, is about new features. You're using Quick and you keep downloading it and updating it because you want new features and preferable out of the box features, things that are come already done for you. So this is our main goal as well. So we are very happy today to say that we are announcing Quick version 3, or from now on, just Quick. You will not see anymore Quick 2, Quick 1, Quick 3. It's going to be Quick. When you talk about Quick now, it's about the new experience. It's about Quick. So I'd like to start with some demos showing you a few things. The first one is about the infrastructure. As I mentioned, let me show you. I still have here Photoshop, and I have. You let me know if you're see my screen.
Yes, we can.
So we have this huge Photoshop project here. Let me see if I can move. It has hundreds of layers and hundreds of draggable objects, actions that you have created in physics bodies. Okay, when I publish it, and I did it, I let me show you my Corona here, my simulator. I'm gonna open this project, which I did. I built it with Quick 2 and Quick 3, and I'm using these numbers just to facilitate in this particular case. But let me open it with Quick 2. So it's not showing. It's not showing because, again, you see, if you haven't seen it and you have a large project, one day you are going to see that. It says that the simulator cannot run because you have more than 200 local variables. So, I mean, you have to come back and start to delete stuff. And this is not a good idea. Okay. So, what we have done now here is the same project exported with the newest release runs perfectly. So no more issues, and you can have still a few objects being dragged. So this is a limitation that we are removing. So, and this may seem as a small thing, but it's huge for people doing serious things like games or super longer storybook or any kind of apps. So let me close here and let me go back to the presentation. Do you have any specific question right now, David, or should I go?
No questions yet.
Okay, so let's talk about my favorite topic. If you know me for a while, you know that this is my background. It's in digital design, and this is which I love to do more, which is to think about the user experience. Uh, my goal for Quick next, or Quick from now on, was to review the entire experience, as I mentioned. From the moment that you go to the website to download the product for the first time, to the to configure it and start to use. So you're gonna see from now on that you have in our website page not only information on how to download the plugin, but as well as information on how to install it properly. This information already exists today, but you have to go to the user guide in order to find this. And you cannot believe how many emails I receive every week from people asking me, I'm having issues trying to install it. It's not installing. And the simple answer is just because if you're using, for example, Photoshop CS6, you must use Adobe Extension Manager CS6 to install. If you're using Adobe Extension Manager CC, for example, it will not work. But it's a very common thing. It's in the FAQ, it's in the user guide, but people simply forget to go there. And I do understand. I am one of them as well. So now we are going to see in the download page information about that. Do you need more information on how to install? There's the link there. Do you need information on how to install Corona and where to install it? There's information there. So again, simple things that will help you guide you throughout the entire process. But it's not just like that. When we go to the experience inside Photoshop, inside the plugin, you are going to see a huge redesign, which is not finished yet. So just it's going to happen in phases here. But every window, some of them were red, but every window will be redesigned with the following goals in mind. The first one is it must be easier to learn and use. Some windows got so many parameters that it's too complicated now. We are going to revisit all of them and make sure that you have the best experience as possible. Also, it must be more productive. You must be able to do more things in less time. We have lots of tutorials on simple things, on complicated things, but at the end, the experience should happen inside the plugin. So just a simple example. For example, when you install Quick today, Quick 2, and you start it for the first time, you have this welcome screen. It's a static image saying thank you. By the way, you have to configure Flash. There's the button to configure it. And if you don't know how to do that, you have to click this I information icon, go to another page, and learn how to do that. What happens? 99% of the people do not do that. And later on, they need to use, for example, the external code option, and the code is not saved because this part was not done properly. With Quick, the newest version, you're going to have Candice guiding you throughout the entire process. So on how to configure Flash, how to prepare if you're on a Mac, everything for using compressed PNGs at the end. To start Corona properly, everything's going to have throughout a window, an animated window, so you'll be able to follow all the steps. So another thing, of course, we keep thinking on how to help our customers to promote their apps. So we have the showcase. We are PRing some of your stuff. We have the App of the Month award. We work close with Corona to make you into their premises as well. We try to do all we can do with Digital Store Time and other reviewer sites, but there's more. And we want to do more for you. So let's see for the first time the new interface. Okay, so but before doing that, let me go back to Photoshop here, the current version. When you install Quick for the first time, you just see this big window here. And the more you extend the plugin, you just see the big logo here, and that's it. Let me close Photoshop CC and open CS6. By the way, I have the new version installed in both. I'm just using different ones to facilitate my experience here. So this is the thing that you know. This is the new interface when you start Quick. So things that we figured out, seeing some of you working, seeing myself work on that. Many times you start to open different projects, and when you need to go back to a previous project, you have to remind and click the open button and start to not anymore. Every project that you open with Quick from now on will be listed in the recent projects. So you can quickly just double click here and open a project and go directly there. If you enable this an option on the settings button, you will see some green icons. What are they? They are sample templates that come with the plugin right now. So for the best tutorials that we are going to make in the website, we are going to be able now to add those projects into the installation. So for example, if you saw a nice tutorial and you want to see how to do that, or in this example, I want to start to do a storybook, I don't know how to do that. So you can simply come here, double click it, and it will copy the full project for you. And you're going to be able to start working. And I'm going to show it in a while, but let me just finish the first overview here. Also, you have now this area called App Showcase. Okay, and every time that you start the plugin now, you're gonna see a different banner coming here. This is another way to help people to see your applications. So, and if you click here, you go to our showcase page and you'll learn more in our example here about Corally. But again, every time that I start, another one will come up. So huge change in the main interface. But let's talk a little bit more about the experience when you start to use the program. Okay, so let me create a project, for example, from one of the samples. So let's say I'm willing to work or to learn a little bit about physics. So, but I don't know, I don't have an idea. I can simply come here and double click it, and boom, it brought me the template that I have. And so now I can come here and simply double click and say, oh, okay, this is how it's set up. And if I had an external code, I could come in here and see the external code. So I don't need to go to our website again and copy and paste thing and get messed up with strange characters that WordPress sometimes put in our code. So you have everything on your hands here. Also, let's go to the top. The tool set, we increased a bit each icons from the tool set. So this way you have a clear distinction on what is a menu and what is feature. So also there's this big clue here, colored one. So now if I don't know where I am, I can see, okay, I am in the layers and replacements category tool set. Okay, and you keep going. If you are familiar already with Quick, you see that we switch the position of animations and interaction because we notice, again, seeing some of you, that the workflow is you create your page, you set your layers, you do the animations, then you start to work in interactions. So we are changing the flow to keep up with the way you work. Another feedback from some of you, I have this project here and all of those buttons which are related to the project were in the status bar in the past. Not anymore. So you are pretty close. So at the end of your project, you publish it and now you're ready to send it to submit to the stores. You can come here and just click compress PNG files. It's in the side. Do you want to export image? It's here. It's closed. You don't have to travel the mouse. You cannot. So another thing that some people ask is, okay, I'm seeing here the components view and here I see the page view. Now with a click, if you prefer to work with your keyboard, if you press P, it goes to the page view. If you press C, it goes to the components view. Simple things, but it helps a lot. Another thing that some people have asked in the past, I cannot select more than one object here. Now you can. You can select more than one, and you can even copy and paste more than one at the same time. And of course, you can select several and simply delete them, all in just one click. Okay, so let me go back to another project. So we don't want to save this. Let me open this animation one. And if you see, we just create a simple physics one. So let me open this demo puzzle one here. This is a project that shows lots of layers, and I mean, could be even more. But what happens if the more you start to adding components, sometimes it's getting very difficult to find the things that you want. So not anymore. You can come here now and say, I just want to see my linear animations, for example. And boom, you just see your linear animations. Or you may say, I just want to see my, I don't know, path animation. No, there is no path animation here. Or maybe just draggable items. You see a fill. Okay, but more than there. You can come here and I want to see just the things that have the word anim. And you have just the information that you want here. So it will speed up a lot the productivity. And man, I have been using it internally, and I cannot go back to QuickTube panel anymore. So let me show you another thing, which is the experience of creating a new project. Okay, the button is the same, but the window changes. And let me start with something new that we are going to see again in all redesigned windows. So if anytime you are in trouble, you don't know how to do, or you need more information, you're going to see this help button here. When you click this, it will send you to the user guide page. Because again, one of the things that we notice a lot is people do not know about the user guide page because you can reach it from here. User guide, not anymore. You can reach it now from the interface. And besides the textual information, you are going to have a video show how to everything into Quick. So if you prefer to see a video, just click the play and you start seeing the video. You cannot because again it's private at this moment. As soon as we finish, I'm going to make it live, but we'll be able to see and follow me doing exactly what you want to do, in this case how to create a new product, a new project. Hopefully a great addition. So again, let's create a new project. So I'm going to call it Frame. It's a famous one, Kindle. And I'm going to explain it in a while. I'm going to set this project to the Kindle Fire, okay? And I'm set the orientation to landscape. And also I have this option here, which is edit project properties upon creation. This is something that we discover as well. You have icons to create. You have lots of setups that you can do in your project, but most people don't remember to do that or simply don't know that they could create lots of things just pressing a button. So now we have this option. When you start and create a new project, if you want, Quick will open the window for you so you can set up things that probably you are forgetting to set up. For example, auto navigation, or if the project will be can be swiped or not between pages, or if you want to create your icon. So let's enable this. But more than that, if we come here and just create, it will create a project like Quick 2 does. Now you have another option, which is create a project from a template. Very common situation. You create this amazing project for the iPad or Universal, and now you want to create it to an Android device. Different settings, different dimensions. So there's a tutorial for that. You have to copy your project manually. You have to do lots of things to do in order to prepare it to be open again at Quick. Not anymore. Just come here, click Browse, and in my case, I'm going to point to the folder that I have, Afraid, which again is based on an iPad project. And I click Open here. When I click Create, it copied everything for me. It says it didn't copy any backup files. It makes no sense. But now, again, it showed me the proper page, so I can. I don't want to navigation this project, or I do want navigation, so I can set up my project properly. I want it even or letterbox. So I mean, I know that I have those features. But more important than that, because now my project's on Kindle Fire, Quick automatically set the canvas for you in the proper side. So it didn't touch your image. So if you come here to the eyes, is to the background layer, for example, it's still a big layer. But at least now you have the options to move it accordingly and reposition everything that you want to do with Quick in this new device, in this new environment. So last thing that I would like to show you before going back to the presentation is some of you are familiar with the monochrome interface, and the reason for that was to make it as closest to Photoshop as possible. But for some of you, it's too hard to see and to understand. So not anymore. You can come into the settings and now click this option here, use colored icons, and boom, you have your interface now in colorful icons, and you can see it in a different way if you want. So I cannot hear the woos and wows, and hopefully you are saying wow at your home. So this is the new experience. And again, it's a working process. So let's talk about new features. Okay, we are gonna have this product in two different phases. At this particular moment, although you saw me showing an example bypassing the 200 features, it's not there yet. Why? Because Corona is working on improvements on what they call storyboard API, which is pretty much the way they handle scene management when you switch page in your project. So I'm not going to bother you with technicalities. So they are working on that, and it's still not a completed process. So although we are working pretty close on that, I cannot release this without their go yet. So while they're not giving us the go, we are still having Quick exporting the project the same way Quick 2 does. However, while we are running Director, which is the way we manage scenes at this moment, we are gonna still keep work on the redesign of all the new windows and new documentation. You know already, if you're using Quick for a while, that there's lots of work just in these simple things. The moment that storyboard is alive from Corona, we are gonna start work on the new, as I'm calling, new versions or new features. Okay, and you are gonna be able to help us voting for top priorities every month. So every month we are gonna tell you, you know what, we have these three top features in mind. Which one should we do first? And you are gonna help us voting throughout our website. So if you're not using our website yet, Facebook, Twitter, forums, please do so because you're gonna be able to participate. So things that are on our list, and the list is much bigger than that, but I would like just to highlight some of them. The first one is with the new guidelines from Apple on children's privacy. So I mean, I don't know if you're familiar with that, but it has changed. So you cannot have just a link to your website anymore on an app for children. You have to provide a way to enable just adults to do so. You cannot have just a button say buy my product here in an in-app purchase. No. So we started to see people worried about how I'm going to do that. It's going to require external code and I cannot do external code. So we are going to think on bring something that could be used out of the box. Just if you need to have a private page just for adults, you're going to be able to do that without code. So this is top priority for us right now. Camera access, hardware sensors, social integration, and of course, improved animation. So we have all the studies from you, research that shows that animations are the thing that you use the most in Quick. So we are going to bring with some really cool new ideas. So let's talk about business now. So licensing and availability. As you know, we are in a mobile world which changes every day. Apple is improving the iOS all the time. Google is doing the same with Android, and it changes. Every time that an update OS comes, Corona needs to change. And sometimes the change is not just internally, you have to rewrite code. So it's too expensive and it's too complicated to keep compatibility with old code. Just to let you know, this week I got a user from Quick One asking me to help him to port his code from Quick One to the new iOS. So it's impossible. Quick One was written 2 years ago. Corona is different. iOS is different. Everything is different. So it's very hard to do so. So starting from now on, Quick will be a subscription license. It's not going to be a perpetual license anymore. And I know some of you probably are booing at now, but hold on. We are going to discuss it in a few minutes. So we are going to still have the trial version, still have 6 page limits. So if you have a very simple app, or if you're just used to learn or even to do some kind of school or educational thing, you can do it. You don't need to pay. You're going to have a 1 year subscription, the same way you have the perpetual today. You buy the subscription, you have rights to use for 365 days, and you have rights to install it in 2 different machines. And later this year, we are going to have a new license, which is 90 days rental. So this is a new one. So if you are using Quick already and you think that you are not going to use it later, so it's just for one app that you are working, instead of paying the full price, you are going to be able to rent it for 90 days, 3 months, for a less lower price, of course. The only thing is you are going to be able to install just one machine, and at the end of 90 days, it will stop to work. And if you need to continue your work, you need to renew your rental or pay a 1 year subscription. But again, it's another way to help people that are not sure yet if they need the product for the full year. So let's talk about price. We are going to keep the same price for the annual subscription. So I know some of you think that Quick's too cheap. Some of you think that could be better, but fortunately, most of you, based on our surveys, tells that it should be uh, more expensive because again, $250 is less than an hour of a professional developer. But for the 19 days rental, we are gonna charge 9,999. So it's gonna be under $100 if you again need Quick just for 3 months. So let's talk about the public beta. Uh, we are gonna start the public beta today. Still using Director, as I mentioned before. And the moment that Corona allows us to submit the new version with Storyboard API, you are going to do the switch. So the main difference of this public beta compared with the public beta that we had last year with Quick 2 is that this public beta is going to be a paid program. And this is something that we learned from the past. Last year, we tried to do a beta, a closed beta. We invite 10 developers to help us on that, uh, giving them a free license at the end. And at the end of 3 months, we just had one developer go into the full beta program. And we learned at that moment that it wasn't because it was free, it was just because people would still working with Quick One because they didn't have the time to spend time on the new program. And we need feedback while we are coding a new project. So it's going to be a paid program. However, in order to facilitate and say, hey, are you going to charge me to try your product? We are going to give you back some benefits. So if you are today a Quick 2 paid user, and again, this is only valid for paid users, you are going to be able to upgrade to Quick, the next version, today for $149. This price is valid only till the end of September. So if you decide to continue with us, new features, new everything across the entire year, you're going to have a $100 discount if you decide to go with us this month. And more than that, instead of just giving you 12 months, we're going to give you a 50-month subscription. Okay. Again, till end of September, just for Quick 2 paid users. So after September, while we are still in beta, meaning testing the new stuff, if you are a paid user, you're going to be able to upgrade for $199.99, again, during the beta period. And also, new users of Quick will be able to voting for new features. That's the same as I mentioned before. After launch, let's say we have the go from Corona in 3 weeks and we do whatever we have to do in a couple of months. When we launch the beta program, when we finish the beta program and launch the final release, there is no more upgrade price. It's going to be the same price as for new users. Okay, which let's talk about. If you're a new user, you have till the end of September the rights to buy Quick 2, which again is a perpetual license. You can keep and you can use and don't need to pay anything else. It's yours. But again, this is going to happen just till the end of September. So if you are finishing a project right now, I would suggest you consider that. After September, starting October, only subscriptions will be sold by its regular price. So there's no such thing, Alex, I prefer to buy Quick 2 in October. It's not going to be an option. The same way it's not an option today if you come and say, Alex, I want to buy today Quick Next. You cannot do it now. So again, if you are a new user, you're going to need to wait a little bit to October. And this is against part of our commitment with people who are supporting us throughout those years. So if you're a paid user, you must have more benefits and advantage than someone who is not a paid user yet. So again, you may have the options to buy Quick 2 to the end of September if you prefer to, not have any commitment, subscription wise, nothing. But after October, only subscription. And if you want to buy now, wait for a little bit, 2 weeks more, and you will be able to do so. So, in sum, so this way we're going to open for questions, and you are still one of our main priorities. It's not about the technology, it's not about new features and new versions. It's about helping you to promote your apps. The more that you get attention from your apps, it will come to us as well. So it must be a give and get situation. So we are still keep working on better ways to promote your apps. And the app showcase inside the quick interface is just the first step. As you have seen, we are gonna bring and keep improving the experience. So this way you're gonna learn faster. You're gonna be more productive, and we're gonna come up with new applications, beautiful applications sooner than later. The new license model, again, it's not perfect, but it will decrease entry costs, especially if you are not sure yet if you need to use it for a full year or not. So you're going to be able now to have the benefits of Quick for 3 months in a much better price point. But also, if you decide to keep doing that, and one thing that we have learned from you is the more apps you do, the more attention you get, and consequently, more sales you have. Having just one app is not enough to get attention from the big players, neither from your potential customers. So if you decide to have uh, at least a full year of usage with Quick, you're going to have all the updates and chance that you know already that we are pretty faster than the competition. We have updates almost every 2 weeks. So nobody else is giving you that. So I strongly believe that even being a subscription, you're going to have some great benefits in continue beating on us, betting on us. And also, again, getting now means you're gonna get better discounts. Again, it's a beta. You're gonna find bugs, and that's the idea, and that's why we are rewarding you back with $100 later, less than the full price, as well as giving you more months. So we are assuming that in 3 months, which is this additional months that we are giving you, you're gonna be able to help us to shaping up a much better product than you have in hands right now, which by the way is pretty good. So if you haven't seen, last week we have one of the apps, this monster highlight. I think it's still in the big charts of no, news and note award from Apple in the book session. So if not, go there, check our Facebook page, and you'll see that. We just have yesterday an announcement from Zala. Zala is just nominated to Tommy's Award in Germany, which is the top award in the country for children apps. So I mean, we are seeing more and more amazing things being done with the plugin, and again, you are the reason behind that. So saying this, I'm gonna park here and answer any questions that you may have. And again, David is going to be our moderator here.
Thank you, Alex. Yeah, we have a question from Karen the Crane. Question is, will a project made in Quick 2 work on beta of Quick 3?
The answer, yes, with some considerations. As of today, because we are using Steel Director, everything works as is. So we don't need to do anything. Everything that you have done, it will work. The moment that we switch to Storyboard API, you are going to need to do a few things if you are using external code mostly. Because in order to have the ability to have more than 200 variables, the way we name things internally has changed. So of course, when time comes, I'm gonna have a proper video tutorial explaining everything. So the short answer is, as of today, yes, if you purchase Quick today, and open it, you can continue working on your project. Everything's there. But the moment that you go to storyboard API, again, only if you are using external code, you may have to do some tweaks on your external code. Not big deal. So for example, if you have a layer called Alex, the way you refer to the layer in your external code today is just Alex. So it's not going to be Alex anymore. It's going to be something like, I have to remember. Yes, I remember. Layer dot Alex. So this is what you have to change. But besides that, everything's there. One thing that you're gonna notice also in this new version, if you install and start to use it, is you're not gonna see in the panel anymore, in the layers and replacements, the button for move clips. Although if you have move clips in your project, it will process on your final code, but it's not going to be visible in the menu anymore because this is deprecated from Corona, and we are strongly suggesting you to not using it anymore. It's in the web page, but again, we are just removing that. And these are the big things for now. But again, much more will come in the following days. And hopefully I answer your question.
Alex, next question is from Randy DeWitt, and I'm getting a few questions related to this. Can you explain if there would be how does the educational pricing work for students, teachers, and things of that nature? Thank you.
Thanks. We are doing the same as Quick 2. If you are a student or an academic institution or or a teacher, a professor, you can just send us an email, and the price in this case is $149.99. So there's $100 discount for academic pricing. There's not a page for that. It's by request. We are gonna improve our website just to remind people that if you are in this situation, just send us an email, or you're going to fill out a form, and this is the price for you. And what we do is every time that it happens, we send you back an email with the link on where you can get quick for the discounted price.
Thank you. Next question is from Malcolm Crossland. Will subscriptions be billed monthly?
No, we are going to have, and the reason for that is we are too small for that at this moment. It's going to be a yearly charge. So we cannot do as Adobe at this moment and charge you every month. So hopefully in the near future.
Thank you. Next question is from Thomasy. Will there be an undo and redo button in the toolset?
It will not in the first builds, because the reason for that is, although it may be simple, just say, oh, it's like copy and paste, just do and undo. The thing is, there's for every copy or paste or do and undo or redo, we have to track everything that you have done. There's no such thing as automatically the system does it for you, and it's just waiting for you to come back. So you have to plan everything. And this is a hard one because, for example, if you just open an animation window, we have to capture this information. And if you close, we have to capture this information, because if you decide to say, you know what, I'm going to redo what I did. So we must have this information. But at the same time, if you haven't changed anything else, we must know that. I mean, Quick must know that nothing has changed. So having all those controls, it's a bit complex, and that's the reason that we are leaving this for a near future uh, release. But the answer is yes, it will come.
Thank you, Alex. Next
And now that I
question
committed, I have to put, right? So it's recorded.
Thank you. Next question is from Alberto Ayerbe from Spain. Wants to know if there will be a future version in Spanish, and that includes manual and tutorials in Spanish. Good question.
Yeah, it's an amazing question. And in fact, I would love to have it not only in Spanish, but even in my mother language, in Brazilian Portuguese, for example. But the thing is, again, we are still very small, and honestly, we cannot afford, because localization, it's not just to change in the interface. As you mentioned, it's to change, or it's to add new tutorials. It's to add new documentation. It's to add lots of things. And in some cases, more than that. It's, for example, if you go to China, things like are common for us here, like submit something to Facebook or to Twitter. It's not happening there. So it's more than just localization. What we are going to do is, and we are going to announce it properly in the near future, is you can start to help us doing a few things. For example, you're going to see the videos, the user guide videos. And if you decide to help us with creating the subtitles for your own language, for example, it's not defined yet, but it's something I'm thinking about. For every three videos that you send us subtitles in your language, we are going to give you back a month in subscription, a free month. So this way, if you feel that you want to help the community, you can do that, and at the same time, we are going to reward you back because you are helping us to do that. The moment that we became the size of Adobe, Microsoft, Apple, we are going to be able to do that, but not at this moment. And I'm so sorry for not being able at this moment. Hopefully, it will change in a few months to do so. But again, we will be able to help. And anytime that you create a tutorial yourself or you create something on your local language, let us know. We can put it in our website and promote you as the author.
Thank you. Next question is from Vladimir. So when the new full quick next be available to be bought?
So, if you're a Quick2 user, again, you can purchase it today. In a few hours, as soon as we finish here, I'm going to upload everything that enables you to do so. You are going to need to enter your activation key from Quick2. So this way, with the validation of the key, you're going to be redirected to the PayPal page where you're going to be able to purchase it. Again, it's a beta version. We cannot set a final date yet because number one, we are still waiting for the approval of Corona regarding the new infrastructure that we are using. So it may take a few weeks, it may take a month. So this is the first reason. And the second reason is we are still working on improving the interface, creating the new documentation and videos. So in a perfect scenario, if you decide not to do anything with beta right now and just start, I am at this moment assuming something close to the mid of last quarter of this year. But again, you can start to use it right now if you're a Quick2 user already. Or if not, if you decide to purchase in October, you are gonna already be using um, this new version.
Thank you. Next question is from Sam. What version of Photoshop will be best for the new Quick?
I mean, I have CS5, CS6, and CC. All of them have benefits and issues, knowing issues. So CS6 is the more stable at this moment, although it has a huge bug with text. CC is the faster, it's the coolest, but still have some issues with some interface items. So the good thing is if you have Adobe Cloud, you can have both on your machine, which I do, and I keep switching when something is not working the way I want in the version. So I would say from now on it's gonna be the CC, but there's still some known issues that Adobe is working on, so we have to wait a little bit more.
Thank you. That's all we have at this time.
So if you don't have any more questions, again, feel free to send us emails, post your comments on Facebook, on your blogging post there. It's going to be alive in a few seconds. Please provide your feedback. Let us know what you think, what we are doing good or bad. And this is the only way we can improve and change things. And again, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you, Alex, and thanks everyone for joining the call.